Welcome to the Dawn Osborne Show, Limitless Life. The big question women like you and I ask is, how do we do that? How do we have a growth mindset? How do we increase our emotional intelligence? How do we do life, business and marketing, and yet still remain balanced in the rhythm of our life and our family? Those are the questions that this podcast will answer. My name is Dawn Osborne, and welcome to my Limitless Life podcast. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wow Women. We are so happy to have you on board here. Hi, Talea. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. I am super excited about this young lady. This young lady made me go, wow. In actual fact, I've had a bit to do with her probably for the last 4 or 5 weeks. She enrolled in the Fearless Coaching program, and I'm not gonna spoil and do a spoiler alert here, but she will share the story. But this, just coaching this young lady, I've just gone, wow, this girl is amazing, and we need to get her story out there. I know that she's going to encourage some of you that are watching today. I would love it if you could share this show, share the podcast, get this message out there. She really carries a message of hope and inspiration. I'm going to let her share her story, but I just need you to lean into this young woman. She's truly an inspiration, and she's definitely going to make you wow. And I'm really excited about the 3 pieces of wisdom that she's going to share at the very end. So if you're just joining us, stay tuned, because you're going to want to listen to the pieces of wisdom that she's going to share at the end, because truly this is a young woman that has walked through some stuff, made some amazing choices in her life. Like I said on my introduction, she's come out of the ashes an amazing beauty, and I really want to share her story with you guys. So let's get started. So welcome, Talea, to Wow Women.
Thank you.
So awesome to have you. Just share with our listeners and our viewers just a little bit about your background, where you've come from, and kind of how that has affected your life. So
yeah, sure. Well, I guess where to start. So I grew up in quite an abusive home, pretty dysfunctional, and I guess I experienced chronic trauma. Probably up until my mid-20s, to be honest. And so what happens when you experience trauma, and especially chronic trauma, it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And if it's not dealt with, like anything, like a balloon, it's going to pop eventually. And that's kind of, I guess, what happened to me. I had trauma that just built and built and built up. And because it was ongoing and I didn't quite know how to deal with it, I reached a point in my life in my mid-20s where I pretty much hit rock bottom. And I mean, looking back, I would probably say I was on the verge of a mental breakdown. So because of the trauma that I had gone through, with trauma, when we go through trauma, it can cause a lot of emotional problems, but also a battle in the mind as well. So for me, I guess because of trauma and what I went through, the victim mindset came in really strong and really early for me. So, and because of the trauma and the pain that I'd gone through, it impacted. So it was going to take a bit to get out of that and to renew my mind and go from that victim to victorious. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And obviously, you're standing in a victorious position now and not in a victim state. Can you just share with us then? So obviously you've had a big journey as a teenager, as a child and a teenager. You've walked through that. You've been walking in this trauma and this pain. Can you tell me what was the first step that you took when you just, made a step towards becoming victorious? What was your first step?
First step. To be honest, I think the first step was I had to get hungry, which sounds a bit funny, but I had to want to change, and I had to not just be like, oh, it'd be nice. I had to go, I don't care. I absolutely do not care what it takes. I'm going to do whatever I can to get free. I'm going to see the people I need to see. I'm going to get what I need to get, and I'm going to go after this. You can't, I think for me, I hit a point where I thought, you know what? I'm not going to get anywhere unless I take action. And for me, I had to get desperate for that breakthrough. So I think for me, that was the first point. And then my first step with that was actually finding a mentor, someone that could walk me through that. So that was kind of the first step. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And so I know that you've done a lot of work on yourself spiritually. You know, you're a person of faith. Emotionally, mentally, you know, you've started seeking mentors. So was I one of those mentors?
Well, yeah, you were one of the other ones that popped up along the way.
I know, it was divinely set, I think. Divinely set. So
yeah, it was actually a couple years ago. I had been seeking for a mentor for a long time, and I'm a Christian, so I prayed for that a long time.
Right.
And yeah, it just got set up for me, kind of like what happened with you, Dawn. So so that was, I think, in the beginning. It was getting with the right people for me. Yeah. People that were going to help me. Were not the people that I guess were going to shine light and give me truth. People that weren't going to agree with the lies that I'd already had there, but people that were going to say, like, interrupt the lie and then declare truth over that. And I think, because, you know, the truth is what sets us free. So I had to seek out people that were going to tell me truth, even though it was ugly, even though it hurt. And it's like with pain, you have to be willing to face it because it's messy and it's hard. And there's a big cleanup, but you've got to do it if you want to get to the other side.
And I know that there is a mindset that, like you said, the victim mindset that comes out of trauma and pain, and truly that has a voice that sort of resounds very loudly when you've come out of abusive situations. I can completely relate to that. Self-sabotage, low self-esteem, low self-image. You feel like you're worthless, and there's voices that are kicking off in your mind that are agreeing with that. And so it's so hard to break that. It's so hard to break that cycle. It's just a vicious cycle of limiting beliefs. And but honestly, I think I'm loving that you just said, the first step for you was finding someone that could like hold your hand and come on the journey with you, that had gone that was a little bit ahead of you, that well, she seems to know what she's doing, or she whether it's someone walking with your spiritual walk, your emotional walk, your physical walk, doesn't matter. It's just getting hold of someone that will do that journey with you. And look, the results speak for themselves. I love the saying, it's like you'll know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And I've just watched you blossom in the last 4 weeks. It's been amazing because you've just been so brave and courageous. So tell us what you're doing now then. So tell us where you're at right now, because it's really exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. So basically, I'm using my my mess is becoming my message. So as Joyce Meyer would say. I'm in the process of becoming a fearless life coach. So Dawn Osborne runs the Fearless Life Coaching courses. And I've been doing it for, I think it's my 5th week now in the course, and I have seen so much breakthrough from that, and transformation. And so I'm taking steps now to coach others, because I know the impact it had on my life, and I know how it transformed me. And I want to be able to pass that on to other people.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And that's part of, it's okay to and that's how it rolls. You walk through your own journey, you find the strategies and the tools that will help you overcome. And then you pop out the other side, and it's like, there's something in us that goes, I just need to help someone else get through this, because you've got the story, you've got the journey, you've learned some stuff along the way, and now it's like, okay, let me help someone else. And I just see that you will be very, very successful, especially in young girls who have maybe been through what you've been through. And if there's anybody watching this and you've got young women that may have come through any form of abuse or trauma, especially chronic trauma, please share this podcast. Let Talea shine the light of hope in their life, that it's not all bad. You can change. You can take back control of your life and make different choices. And so the future, what does the future hold for you, Talea?
What does the future hold for me? Wow. so much. So the future, what does it hold for me? Well, I really want to get my story out there because I know what it's like we just shared, you know, I know what it's like as a young girl to be riddled with fear and insecurity, and I know what it's like to have fear hold you back from fulfilling your call. And so I guess for me, what I see in the future is I would like to be able to help, I mean, anyone I can really, but especially women that have gone through abuse, women that have gone through trauma. I want to be able to help them shift from the past to purpose. So moving from trauma to moving into the call that's on their life, really. So, but I hope to do that through coaching and other various platforms as well. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, all right, let's get to it. I'm a bit excited about hearing your 3 pieces of wisdom that you have for us today. So what is wisdom piece number 1?
Okay, wisdom piece number 1. Number 1 is find your eagles. So I'm going to expand on each of the little points. So with this one, find your eagles. What I'm talking about here is find a mentor, find a tribe. So I think, you know, the start of this podcast, the start of this filming, I had mentioned that one of the first steps I took was to seek out a mentor. So, and the other thing with that was seeking out a tribe. So seeking out a community of people that were going to champion me on and going to call me up to a higher level. Because, you know, I was so insecure that, you know, walking with my head down all the time. I wore really bland colors because I just wanted to hide and, you know, blend into the wall and
be invisible.
And so when I started hanging around a community of people that knew who they were, they knew the calling on their life. I mean, I started hanging around people that were just on the complete opposite scale to me. You know, here I am totally insecure, hanging out with people that just knew who they were. And so for me, as hard as that was, it was hard being so insecure and around people that, you know, were very secure in themselves. But I just kept showing up. As scared as I was, I kept showing up. And, you know, I'm sure many of you have heard that you become like the 5 people you hang around. And so for me, hanging around a community of people that knew who they were, well, guess what? Over time, I gradually started to find security. I became like the people I started to hang around. So that's number 1 is find your eagles, and you can't soar like an eagle if you're surrounding yourself with chickens. So surround yourself with people that are confident. Surround yourself with people that are whole and healthy. And you know what? You're going to catch it. You're going to catch what they've got. So I just really want to encourage you to come alongside people that are going to champion you, not enforce lies into your life, but shine truth in there.
Wow.
So that's number 1.
Really like that one. Very good. Okay, what's number 2?
So number 2 is make vision for your life bigger than the past. So one thing about that is to stand on your past and not in your past. So and I'm sure many of you have heard that a person without a future will always return to their past. So that was another big thing for me, is that, you know, I couldn't move into my future because I didn't, like, there was no vision there. And you can't go somewhere where you don't have any idea, you can't see it for yourself. But when you can see something and when you can focus on it, what you focus on, you become. So with that, there was simple stuff like, because I know for me, I had no goals, I had no vision. And when I had none of that, I just lived in this pain. I lived in the past, unable to move forward. So I just want to touch quickly on like some practical things with that, because
I love
that looks like things like doing a vision board. So easy, but when you can see it, you can start to move in it. So doing a vision board. And then the other thing is speaking over yourself. So some people would call this affirmations or declarations.
Declarations,
but I can tell you from speaking out promises, speaking out things that are not yet come into being, I can tell you I've seen so much fruit from that. And there's science behind it, you know, that speaking over yourself, it does have power to rewire the brain. So, and rewire the thought patterns. And so for me, that was huge because, you know, I do this every day. For me, I declare things every day, and I do it until I see it happen. Until I actually see it, I do not stop. And so that's been huge for me because that was part of renewing my mind. Was actually saying, you know what, I'm whole, spirit, soul, and body. And I just keep saying it and saying it, and I still say it because, you know, we always need more. We always want more of that. So there's some little things there. And forming a daily routine as well. That's a big thing. Because when you've gone through trauma or dysfunction, you often will find that, you know, there's unhealthy patterns, unhealthy habits. And in order to break those things, you need to form new ones. So that's a big thing as well.
Wow, that was loaded with wisdom right there. That was amazing. That's a thank you so much for that. Okay, do you have number 3?
Oh, number 3, yes. So number 3 is taking ownership. So there's a quote, and I don't know who this is by, but I heard it and I just went, wow, that is amazing. So they said, you are where you are today because that's where you chose to be. Now, it sounds really like, whoa, that's a bit challenging. But the reality is our actions are what shapes our lives. So, so in any given moment, we can change our story. With simple decisions, simple actions, we're able to change it. So taking ownership, and I think when you can probably relate to this, Dawn, but when you first start taking ownership, there's a huge cleanup. There's a huge cleanup sometimes, and that does take time to clean up. To clean up and you know, take ownership. Move from that position of sitting in the passenger seat, doing the blame game, thinking it's everyone else's responsibility to fix your life, to fix your problems. And so to move from the passenger seat to getting in the driver's seat, taking ownership. Not only will that empower you, but, you know, when we take ownership and we become an incredible leader of our lives, and we learn to steward our own lives well, we will be given more. And so I'm sure you know that, you know, that when we're faithful with the little things, that God will give us more. So learning to become an incredible leader of your own life, stewarding that well, taking ownership, not expecting others to fix it for us. So that's my third little word of wisdom.
I love that. And I know we're very good at, you know, when there's success, we're like, oh yes, I did that and I own that. But then when it's not so, when it looks a bit more like a failure, we're like, oh, that's someone else's fault. But it's like, no, I've got to take responsibility for everything in my world. Like, what am I responsible? I'm responsible for my thoughts, my actions, my behavior, how I treat other people, how I see the world. Do I see it through a victim mindset or do I see it through a victorious mindset? And then, okay, if stuff that if I'm looking through at life through the filter of the victim's glasses, you know, there's got to be change. You're going to have to. That's not going to work. That's not going to work long time. And you're going to, you know, we want to get people into a happier place, right? You know, full of joy and goodness and transformed. And it's real. You are a transformed life, and I love it when I have young women on here that have transformed quickly. You know, you're not even 30 yet, right? You know,
no, I'm not even 30 yet.
I wish I had sorted my stuff out, you know, in my 20s. It would have been a lot easier, but hey, you know, I'm here now. I'm in my 40s and a lot wiser, I can tell you. But you have been an absolute delight today. So if people want to find you, want to learn more about what you're doing, where can we find you?
Well, I'm on Facebook at the moment. So you can find me on Facebook. Talea Bart, but I haven't set up a business page, but I'm in the process of doing all of that. So, so everything's kind of in the process at the moment for me. But yeah, if you need to connect or want to connect, I'm on Facebook, so easily contacted there.
Yeah. So if someone wanted to ask you questions about,
help, you can easily message me on there.
Any young women out there that are like, okay, I really need to reach out to this.
And
get coached.
And I'm actually just want to pop it out there as well that I am taking on doing coaching, complimentary coaching at the moment. So I really want to throw that out there, especially any young women. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be overseas. It doesn't matter because we have the internet, we have phone. But anyone that is hearing this message and they're like, yes, I want transformation. I'm giving out complimentary coaching sessions because I'm training as a coach. So feel free to contact me, message me if that does interest you. Yeah,
absolutely. Drop in a message or, private message to Leah direct. I fully endorse her. She has, as I say, she's on the show because she made me go, wow. So you've been a delight and your information has been amazing. And I'm very grateful. So we thank you, Talea, and we're going to be watching your journey, and I'm sure you're going to impact many, many lives for good. So there we are, guys. That was our Wednesday's Wow Women. This will be shared on podcast, or if you know someone, please share this. Get other people out there listening to this who need some hope. And we will be back next Wednesday. Who have we got? I won't spoil the surprise, but we've got another amazing woman on next week's show. She has got quite a story as well. So. Well, there we go, Talea. You have an amazing day, and we will catch everybody next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Hey, and thank you for listening to the Wow Women show. Hey, if you're interested in becoming a fearless coach, please come and find us at dawnosborne.org or my Facebook page, Dawn Osborne, and you'll be able to find a link there about becoming a fearless coach. Or if you want to find fearless for your own life in a personal way, we've also got courses available for you, which you can also find on dawnosborne.org.